Stars 1 week from today, October 8th at 12 noon for the season premiere of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. The Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions will be decided today. The first 3 weeks were dominated by Mike Morgan. And then last week, Morgan combined with Bob Moran in the highest scoring match ever on Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Looks good.
Yes.
Good. Off the wall.
97.5 for Bob Moran with a spare up in the 6th.
Yeah, come on!
Oh, 20 more! Oh, he was a little full on the head pin, but the way he's throwing, it really doesn't matter at this point. Skips it right in the pocket, and he's there. Boy, he skipped that one up there. You're going to hear some noise if this is a strike.
Got a shot at it. He's got it in a row. Oh, wow.
Bob Moran, 448. Mike Morgan, 435. And so the matchup is set. Bob Moran of Billerica, Massachusetts against Pat Pay of Somersworth, New Hampshire, the finals of the 1989 Tournament of Champions.
TV50 Sports and the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association present Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Park Place Lanes in Wyndham, it's the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions.
Gonna split it. Look at this.
Yes! Oh, wow! Right in the pocket.
My goodness.
Oh, there was never a doubt about that one.
Good looking ball.
Yes.
And now your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Well, this is it. Welcome once again to Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Hi, everybody, from Park Place Lanes in Wyndham. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. And welcome to the championship match of the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions for 1989, our final show for the season. And it's come down to the top 2 seeds, but, boy, we had an awful lot of excitement getting to this point.
Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it during this match, about the last few weeks, but we've had some great bowling, not to mention last week, and the total is 483.
883.
883, I mean.
Right.
Highest total pinfall we've ever had on the show. 2 great bowlers. This week I expect some of the same.
Well, I think if we have that, we'll certainly have another dandy. But in any event, we've got 2 quality bowlers here ready to go. $1,500 to the winner, $600 to the runner-up. The Tournament of Champions title on the line. So let's meet our 2 bowlers. First of all, our number 2 seed, the winner last week from Billerica, Massachusetts, Bob Moran.
Okay, and Bob comes in, carries an average of 123. He has an individual high single of 200, and he had a good shot at that last week. He qualified for our show with a 411.
And the guy who's been waiting in the wings all these weeks to take his crack at the $1,500 first prize is the guy who's pretty much been owning this show over the years. This will be his 22nd appearance overall, Pat Pay.
And yes, he comes in with a record of 15-6, 15 wins and 6 losses, carries 128 average. Qualify for the show by 1 pin more than Bob Moran at 412.
But we're going to settle all that today. $1,500 to the winner, $600 to the runner-up. We have the bonus ball contest at the end of the program. Our final show of the 1988-89 season. The Tournament of Champions on the line. Bob Moran and Pat Pay will get it started right after these messages. Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. The first 3 weeks were controlled by Mike Morgan, coming from the number 5 spot to beat in order Paul Berger, Scott Rondelli, and Ed Arsenal. But last week, Mike threw his best match of the 4, ironically. He threw a 435, but it was not good enough to beat Bob Moran's 448. So today, Bob Moran for the big money against Pat Pay, our final match of the season. And Bob Moran is all set to go on lane 32. After a 448, I don't know what he can do for an encore, but
Spread eagle.
Bob began last week's match with 8 consecutive marks on his way to a 168. Followed that up with a 146 and a 134. Total of 19 marks.
Not bad out of 30 boxes.
No, and he not only got the win, but survived a triple strike by Mike Morgan. It's not very often that you see someone throw a triple strike and drop the match, because usually that can mean a lot of pins
exactly right. A lot of pins.
And it did for Mike Morgan, but it just wasn't enough because Bob Moran was just a buzzsaw all day. And he just misses out on a strike there, leaving the 3-pin. We'll remind you a couple of times during today's program that in spite of the fact that this will be our last first run program of the season, that we will be rebroadcasting some of this season's shows during the summer months. So we'll be here every Sunday, as we always are, through the summer until we begin the brand new season in the fall, which will be our 6th season of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Pat Pay now.
So that means if they see us dressed in long johns, to realize that it might have been done in January.
Right.
189 left for Pat. First look at our top seed from Somersworth, New Hampshire.
Mentioned Pat has made 21 previous appearances. 19 of those have been in singles competition. And of those 19, he has thrown 400 10 times.
Well, it's a 17 start for Pat Pay.
This is the second matchup of these two gentlemen on Stars and Strikes. They met back earlier this season in November. And in that match, Bob Moran beat Pat Pay 380 to 376. And then, of course, Pat came back later in the season, seeded number 1, to beat Mike Morgan and qualify for this tournament. Just a 4-fill for Bob on his spare. And 30 through 3. Oh, he's right back in the pocket. Wow.
That's different.
Taking just 4 pins.
Took out the 4 horsemen on the left. The 1, 2, 4, and the 7. I've never seen that done before. He's looking at the 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
$39 through 4 for Bob. Big 9 drop. Here comes some wood. It'll roll by the head pin.
And we've got to have Dottie check one piece of wood down there, whether it's in play. I say it would probably be out.
And you'd be right.
And Pat gets his first mark. In the third. Off target, but he's got 6. 1, 2, 5, 9.
And kicked out the 1 pin, but left the 9.
And we're going to have Dottie check another one.
Good thing we don't pay her by the trip.
That's a close look. She's going to leave that one in there.
And Pat Pay leads by 4.
This time he's back in the 1-2 pocket again. This time a little better break. 3-6 left. Covers it for the spare in the 5th.
Bob slips it just to the right. He'll take a 4, Phil, for a 53 through 5. And a $10.
63 through 6. Pat Pay for his 5th and 6th. And so far, Pat Pay has been missing the head pin with the first ball. After 5, 2-pin lead for Bob Moran. Well, Pat was on the head pin that time, but he hasn't got much to show for it. He's got the 5-pin and the 6-pin and the 8, 9, and 10. Piece of wood. He's going to need some help with the 8.
Nope.
Needs a little help with the 6 as well. Well, this is quite a different start than we had last week. Same 2 pair of lanes, same pins.
Well, I guess to a certain extent, maybe you expect it because more than $2,000 riding, and
that's right. I forgot about getting nervous over that.
well, we're not giving you any of the $2,000.
Oh, wow.
You have no reason to be nervous.
No
at all.
sense getting nervous at all then. Let's see, when the bowlers are off to a slow start like that, people listen to us a little more closely. So if we make mistakes, see, they'll pick up on it. But see, something like that happens, we can make all the mistakes in the world, and then people don't care. Strike in the 7th for Bob Moran. First strike of the match.
Double strike for Bob Moran, and that'll get the noise level up here a little bit at Park Place Lanes.
Trips that 4-pin for the double strike.
Pat Pay crosses over and leaves the 1 and 10. And spares it up.
That. Sometimes a bowler throwing, as Bob did, a double strike gets the other bowler going. You see the replay of the 110 conversion for Pat Pay.
And he'll shoot at another spare possibility. The 3-5. Oh, and he capped it.
He knew it as soon as he let the ball go. Take a look at the reaction of the ball and the pin when Pat went for that mark. Watch him cap the wood. Sends the pin straight back and the ball to the left.